GMNA uses artificial intelligence for generated speech, visuals, and production. AI-generated content may contain errors. Please verify important information before making decisions or taking action.
Good morning, Montreal. I'm Lauren Dupuis. A mobile command post is now at the hospital as police hunt for a missing 75-year-old, and the Quebec Pickleball Championship will debut on 20 new outdoor courts this weekend. Expect moderate traffic delays with the SDM strike. Over to you, Ryan.
The Franco's Festival kicks off today, running through next week, featuring 10 free concerts across Montreal's neighborhoods.
Artists include local indie bands, a reggae troupe, and a bilingual folk group performing at community parks and plazas.
Tickets are not required. Attendees simply arrive at each venue during scheduled afternoon and evening slots.
All right, let's get into it, starting with the latest headlines on local developments and community updates. Good morning, Montreal. Here's what you need to know before you head out. A weather alert, transit updates, and the latest on downtown development. Yesterday, police set up a mobile command post at the entrance of the Maisonneuve-Rose Mon Hospital to coordinate the search for a missing 75-year-old woman. The senior was reported missing on Wednesday after she failed to return home. Officers from the Service de Police de la Ville de Montreal have stationed investigators, detectives, and support staff in a temporary operations center outside the hospital, allowing them to manage leads, conduct interviews, and dispatch resources across the city. Family members have been notified and are cooperating with investigators. Police have not released details about the woman's last known whereabouts beyond her residence in the Rose Mon La Petite Patrie borough. The command post will remain in place until the missing person is located or the investigation is concluded. The headquarters includes a communications hub, a mapping station, and a liaison desk for family members. Authorities continue to gather information from public as the search proceeds.
The Marcel Lemia Provincial Pickleball Championship moves outdoors this weekend in Salaberry de Valleyfield. For the first time, the province's annual tournament will be played entirely on 20 brand new courts built just for the event. The new courts were installed by the city in partnership with the Provincial Pickleball Association. Organizers say the open-air setting will let players enjoy the summer heat while keeping matches fast and lively. The two-day competition runs tomorrow and Sunday, drawing competitors from across Quebec who will vie for the provincial title in singles, doubles, and mixed play. The schedule includes youth, adult, and senior brackets, giving players of all ages a chance to compete. Spectators can watch from shaded bleachers and will have access to food trucks offering local fare. Local volunteers will handle scorekeeping and court upkeep, and officials expect the outdoor format to boost attendance and showcase the sport's growing popularity throughout the region.
Music lovers can enjoy a week of free performances as the Francos de Montreal launches its 37th edition today. From this morning through next Thursday, 10 outdoor concerts will be held across the city, each showcasing a mix of emerging and established francophone artists. The festival, a staple of the summer calendar, aims to highlight the diversity of French-language music and draw crowds to neighborhood venues from the Plateau to the Old Port. All shows are open to the public with no ticket cost, encouraging families and visitors to experience live music without a fee. Organizers say the free series is part of a broader effort to make the arts accessible, and they expect a lively turnout as the city celebrates its cultural heritage throughout the week. The program includes genres ranging from pop and hip-hop to traditional chanson, ensuring something for every taste.
UPAC launched an investigation on Thursday into alleged leaks of confidential files from the Provincial Economy Ministry. The Anti-Corruption Unit is reviewing whether the disclosures breach the trust owed to the ministry and could constitute a criminal offense. The ministry itself asked for the probe after internal documents were circulated outside the department. Opposition parties have seized on the move, accusing Premier Freichet's government of using the inquiry to intimidate political rivals. A spokesperson for the Premier's office said the investigation is strictly about safeguarding public information and will be conducted independently. UPAC has not yet announced any charges, but said its mandate includes determining if any public officials abused their position. The outcome will shape how the province handles internal data security and the political fallout from the allegations.
The Quebec government announced today that the province's projected budget deficit for the 2025-26 fiscal year has been cut in half. A newly released financial report shows the shortfall now stands at $7.2 billion, down from an earlier estimate of $13.6 billion. Officials said the revision reflects stronger tax revenues and lower than expected spending in several departments. The updated outlook will be incorporated into the province's next budget plan, which is due later this year. Analysts noted the sharp reduction could improve Quebec's credit rating, though they cautioned that future economic conditions remain uncertain. The Finance Ministry will table the revised figures before legislators next month briefly. The ministry said the lower deficit reflects revised growth forecasts and tighter spending controls across health, education, and infrastructure programs. Later we'll hear how police busted a Quebec auto theft ring tied to the Hells Angels, plus more on today's headlines. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
If you run a venue, a comedy night, a concert, a fundraiser, you already know the hardest part isn't the show. It's selling the seats. Theaterfiller changes that. In minutes, you're set up with your own ticketing page, QR code delivery, and a door scanner. No technical headaches. No middleman taking a cut of your night. Your event, your tickets, your revenue. Go to theaterfiller.com and fill every seat.
Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed the break. Let's dive into today's headlines, then Ryan Mercer will take us through the local stories.
Good morning. The Borough of Lachine has been placed on a water conservation alert as of June 11th. City officials warned that the municipal supply is under strain and that they cannot shut off the network for the area, so households are being asked to lower their potable water consumption immediately. The request applies to all residents, who are urged to limit showers, laundry cycles, and outdoor watering until the alert is lifted. Montreal has issued similar warnings in several districts this summer, reflecting broader pressure on the water system. Authorities say the measure is precautionary, aiming to avoid service interruptions. Keep an eye on your water bill and follow any additional guidance that may be posted by the borough. We'll continue to monitor the situation and bring updates as they become available.
Police on Saturday, June 11th, carried out a coordinated raid that broke up a vehicle theft organization operating in the city. Officers from the Montreal Police Service, working with several provincial and federal partners, seized dozens of stolen cars and arrested a number of suspects. Investigators say the ring is believed to have ties to the Hells Angels Motorcycle Club, a group long linked to organized crime in the province. The operation targeted warehouses and garages in several neighborhoods, disrupting a network that supplied stolen vehicles to dealers and buyers. Authorities emphasized that the bust aims to curb the flow of stolen automobiles that have plagued residents for years. Those taken into custody face charges ranging from grand theft auto to participation in an organized criminal group. The investigation remains active as detectives continue to trace additional links and recover more vehicles.
Authorities responded early Thursday on St. Laurent Boulevard after a vehicle struck a 35-year-old woman who was crossing the street. The impact occurred near the intersection with René Lévesque Boulevard West, and the driver fled the scene, prompting a hit-and-run investigation. Emergency crews rushed the victim to hospital, where she remains under medical care. Police have sealed off sections of both St. Laurent and René Lévesque Boulevards, while detectives work to identify the vehicle and gather evidence. Officers are reviewing surveillance footage and speaking with witnesses to determine the driver's description. The closure of these downtown corridors is expected to continue until investigators complete their inquiries. Motorists are advised to seek alternate routes as traffic patterns adjust to the ongoing police operation. The incident has prompted heightened police presence in the area throughout the morning, and officers continue to canvass nearby businesses for additional clues.
CF Montreal announced today that head coach Thierry Eulefroy will continue in his role through the remainder of the season. The club confirmed the decision on June 11th, following his appointment in April, after former coach Marco Donadel left the position. Management said the move provides stability as the team prepares for the final stretch of matches. Eulefroy, who took charge mid-year, will now have the opportunity to guide the squad through the concluding fixtures without interruption. The announcement comes as the club evaluates its performance and looks ahead to upcoming league challenges. Fans can expect the coaching staff to remain unchanged for the balance of the campaign, allowing players to focus on on-field objectives. Club officials also noted that the decision aligns with the organization's longer-term plan to build a competitive roster for the following season.
Pascal Vincent has stepped down as head coach of the La VAL Rocket after 2 seasons and is heading west to join the Seattle Kraken as an assistant coach. The move was announced on June 11th, marking the end of his stint leading the Canadiens' AHL affiliate. Vincent, who guided the Rocket through a full campaign last year, will now work under Seattle's head coach as the Pacific Northwest club looks to add AHL experience to its staff. The Rocket will begin a search for a new leader, while local fans recall his time developing young talent for the Canadiens. The organization has named its associate coach as interim leader while the search continues, ensuring the team stays focused on the upcoming season. For Montreal hockey followers, Vincent's departure is a reminder of the fluid nature of coaching careers across the league.
Now let's turn to the forecast and see what the day has in store for us.
A gentle overcast morning greets us, perfect for planning a day of sunshine or a cozy indoor moment. On this day, the city once sweltered to a record high of 31.4 degrees, set in 2017 during an unexpected heat wave that pushed many locals to seek shade early. Conversely, the coldest June 11 on record fell to 8.7 degrees in 2020, when a rare Arctic blast lingered over the province. By contrast, our climate normals hover around 29 degrees for the high and 21 degrees for the low, reminding us how unusual those extremes truly were. Right now at 7 in the morning, the sky is overcast and the temperature reads 23 degrees, with humidity sitting at 91% and a gentle breeze of 8 kilometers per hour. By 9, the overcast persists, keeping the air comfortably cool. At noon, the clouds will part, bringing mainly clear conditions and a rise to 27 degrees. The afternoon heats up, and by 3 o'clock the mercury reaches 31 degrees under a clear sky, perfect for a late lunch outdoors. Evening brings a slight dip to 29 degrees and mostly cloudy skies as the sun sets at 8:42 p.m., the UV index stays modest at 5, and wind peaks at 17 kilometers per hour from the southwest. No weather alerts are in effect, so you can enjoy the day with confidence. Looking ahead, Friday promises a bright start with a clear sky and a high of 31 degrees while the night cools to 17 degrees. Saturday eases a bit, staying overcast with a high of 25 degrees and a low of 17. There's a 20% chance of rain, so a light jacket might be wise. Sunday brings the most moisture, as light rain showers are likely and the chance climbs to 85%, keeping temperatures steady around 25 degrees by day and 16 by night. Monday turns cooler and clearer, offering a high of 20 degrees and a low of 14, ideal for a relaxed stroll. Tuesday mirrors Monday's pleasant conditions, with the same high of 20 degrees and low of 14, giving the week a gentle, comfortable finish.
Stay tuned for traffic updates, a look at tonight's concert lineup, and the chamber spotlight on Lambert and Fils. We will be right back.
Watch the local sunset tonight at 6 p.m. for all your local Montreal news.
Commuters, the biggest story this morning is the STM strike. Bus and metro service is reduced to peak hour only, with off-peak frequencies cut in half. Expect longer waits on the Green Line and fewer buses on the 55 and 80 routes, so add 10 minutes to your trip. On the road, construction near Barrie-UQAM limits emergency vehicle access, but traffic moves freely elsewhere. St. Denis Street has reopened between Weissman and Bloomfield, restoring that corridor. Mont-Royal Avenue remains under work from St. Laurent to Risthor, with lane reductions and a 5 to 10 minute delay. The Grand Défi Pier Lavoie cyclists are riding through Montérégie and Estrie, causing moderate slowdowns on Autoroute 5 and Route 2 for inbound commuters. Aside from these spots, the main arteries, Autoroute 15, Décarie and St. Laurent, are clear. This afternoon the strike continues, so plan for reduced service, and construction stays on schedule with the same lane closures.
There are no verified listings available for today's segment. And now here's Tyler with sports.
A quieter sports board today, with no fresh local team update from RSS. Big hardware for Montreal. Captain Nick Suzuki has won the Frank J. Selk Trophy, while teammate Cole Caulfield takes home the Lady Byng Trophy. The NHL announced both honors on Friday, giving the Canadiens a rare individual awards double. According to CBC Sports, it marks a notable recognition for the organization. The Canadiens' playoff run ended at the hands of the Carolina Hurricanes in Game 5 of the Eastern Conference Final. According to CBC Sports, Logan Stankoven scored one of 3 Carolina first-period goals, helping the Hurricanes advance to the Stanley Cup final and ending Montreal's postseason. CF Montreal's winter home situation has league attention. With MLS shifting to more winter matches starting in 2027, the commissioner told CBC Sports Soccer the Olympic Stadium could be a brilliant solution if further renovated. The Big O is already undergoing an $870 million roof reconstruction.
Lambert and Fils, the family-run bakery on Rue Saint-Viateur in Milan, has been a morning staple for generations. Known for its flaky croissants and almond-topped fruit tarts, the shop now faces a new hurdle. U.S. import tariffs on butter and flour have pushed ingredient costs up sharply. Owner Marie-Claude says the bakery is forced to weigh price hikes against the promise of affordable treats that locals count on before work. If prices rise, neighborhood residents risk losing a daily ritual that stitches the community together. For many Montrealers, Lambert and Fils is the taste of home on a busy day. It's a reminder that global trade decisions can ripple through our streets, touching the very flavor of Montreal life. And now a feel-good story about Lambert and Fils, the beloved Milan bakery standing strong despite new U.S. tariffs. Stay tuned.
Coming up tonight at 6, the local sunset. Your neighborhood, your city, your news. From City Hall decisions to the stories happening right on your street, we cover what matters most to Montrealers. Join us tonight at 6 p.m. on GMna for the local sunset, Montreal's evening newscast.
On a morning beside the St. Lawrence River, downtown Montreal wakes to the hum of traffic and the scent of coffee spilling from a boulangerie on Rue St. Laurent. Today, a small fleet of sleek drones lifts off from a pad near the Place Ville-Marie construction site, their rotors catching the early light. City officials, led by the Director of Urban Planning, watch the first flight with anticipation, while nearby workers pause to glance skyward, their hard hats glinting. These aerial helpers are more than gadgets. They carry cameras that can peer over scaffolding and into alleyways where progress is hidden. In one test run, a drone spotted a misplaced steel beam blocking a cyclist's path, allowing crews to correct it before rush hour began. The fix eased a bottleneck that normally snarls commuters and lets pedestrians breathe easier. The community's response has been immediate, with neighborhood groups sharing the live feed on social media, celebrating the transparent view of their streets. It feels like the city is finally seeing its own heartbeat from above. And that, dear viewers, is how a little extra perspective can keep our streets moving forward.
At the heart of Milan, just steps from the bustling St. Laurent Boulevard, a group of neighborhood volunteers gathered beneath the shade of towering maple trees to transform an empty lot into a community garden. Led by longtime resident Marie-Claire Boussachar, a retired teacher, the crew unfurled rolls of fresh soil, planted seedlings of tomatoes, basil, and lavender, and hung colorful hand-painted signs that read "Grow Together." Children from the nearby elementary school chased each other with watering cans, their laughter echoing as they carefully pressed tiny roots into the earth. One shy 8-year-old who usually watches from the sidelines placed a sprig of mint into the soil, eyes bright with quiet pride. Across the lot, an elderly couple who have lived on the block for 60 years shared stories of the neighborhood's evolution, their hands steady as they trimmed a row of rosemary. By sunset, the garden was alive with the scent of herbs and the promise of fresh produce for families facing rising costs. The simple act of planting together sparked a renewed sense of belonging, reminding everyone that even in challenging times, a shared purpose can blossom into hope. It's moments like these that remind us why community matters.
Thank you, Montreal, for joining us tonight. Tonight's highlight was the police bust of a Quebec auto theft ring linked to the Hells Angels, a reminder that our community's safety is front and center. We'll be back tomorrow with more stories that matter to you. Stay safe and see you then.